Hi, morning, welcome to Stampin' with Val Facebook page. If you're joining me live, hop on and say hello. If you're watching the recording, feel free to say hello. I go back and I check the comments and see what's in there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment because I always read those and reply to them. So welcome to everybody whenever you're watching this. I'm going to bring you up, guys, up on my iPad so I can see you when you leave comments. I've actually jumped on a couple of minutes early so that obviously it gives Facebook time to tell people that I'm here. Yeah. But also, I don't have a lot of time this morning. I've got a hospital appointment at lunchtime, so I'm popping on sort of quickly. I didn't want to not do my Facebook Live. We always do it at Friday at 10 o'clock. So I didn't want to not do it, and there is time to fit it in, but I'm also conscious of the time of other things I need to do and need to leave in enough time. You know what it's like. You need to get there. You need to find somewhere to park. Our local hospital is like a rabbit's warren, and I don't know where I'm going. So... I think I'll recognise it when I get there, but I haven't actually really been there much since I had the kids like 11 years ago. So fortunately it's not somewhere I'm over familiar with, but it doesn't mean I've got to figure out where I've got to go. So normally the second Friday of the month I have a full class, but that does take over an hour normally to do. And like I said, because I've got this appointment, I'm conscious time-wise that I wanted to do it and I was hoping to do it, but I've also had to be realistic and honest with myself and say, do you know what, you don't have time to fit in the full class this morning and the other bits you need to do before you have to leave. So we're not doing the full class today. We're just going to do a single project today, but it's quite a quick one, so that's great. Hi Carly, hello, morning Emily, nice of you both to join me. I'm rubbing my hands, turning into Ebenezer Scrooge or something. My hands are really dry for this time of year. My hands are really, really dry. So if anybody knows a really good hand cream, because the one I used to use, they've stopped making it. I used to use a really nice Nivea one. It was like their serious intense stuff. And then I can't get it anymore. And I've tried a couple of others that claim to be, you know, as good, and they're not as good. They're not as good. So if anybody knows a really good one, let me know, because they've got really bad. So yeah, I'm not very with it in my head either. I had the dentist yesterday. I hate the dentist. Hate it with a passion. Actually, I get quite more than nervous, like anxiety kicks in. So by the time I was sat in the waiting room, I was already half in tears and type of thing before I've even got anywhere near the surgery bit. So, and it was only a checkup. So it was fine. Everything was fine. So at least I don't have to dash back in a hurry for anything to get anything sorted. So, well, Emily doesn't like the dentist either. No, I've got quite a lot of fillings, if I'm honest. I think it's partly that. But I was saying it's other things as well. It's a feeling of lack of control when you're sat in the chair. Almost an unsafe feeling. My dentist is very trustworthy, don't get me wrong, and he's about 12. So I'm not at risk from him in any sort of way. But you're very vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable position. You're sort of laid back and your mouth is wide open. And years ago I had a dentist who used to tip the chair like that. So this was your feet and this was your head, you know, and you had to honestly felt like I was clinging onto the sides of the chair for dear life, otherwise I was going to slide off backwards head first. And all those feelings, I think, stay with you. They stay with you, even if the dentist changes, so the current dentist doesn't tip you upside down, you know. And he's a very nice, very young chap. And my dentist keeps changing. There's something about the room I go visiting, because I've lived here 11 years and I think we're on the 8th dentist. I think I scared them off or something. Oh God, it's that moody woman again. Right, we're off. Let's leave. So, yeah. So, but it was fine. It was fine and everything was fine. so I don't have to go again for a bit. Good morning, Anne. Hello. I'm still rubbing my hands. They're so bad. It's horrible here today. Don't know about where you are. The weather is, it's warm, but it's chucking it down. Yeah, so I don't have to go to the dentist again. And I'm hoping I won't have to go to the hospital again after today either. So it's nothing serious, so don't anybody panic or anything like that. It's just, I got to 40 and it kind of went, everything dropped to bits, I think. It honestly felt like I woke up that day and my whole body had just gone, nah, we're too old for this now. Yeah, so I've just, did I tell you about I've got spectacularly low vitamin D, apparently. Spectacularly was the phrase the doctor used. Yes, so that bad. So I'm going to go and get the blood, I'm going to have my blood retested because I've been taking a huge vitamin D dose, to try and bring that back up. And then they need to check that it hasn't affected my bones and stuff. Because obviously that you need vitamin D for your calcium absorption, so they need to check that that hasn't all trashed all of that. So, oh, thank you, Anne. Yeah, like I said, I'm just tired. I went to the doctor's just going, I'm tired all the time. I have 10-year-old children, I get that, so that's probably a lot of it. But, you know, so she just did a whole raft of tests, and to be fair, the majority of them came back absolutely fine. She did cholesterol, she did iron, diabetes, thyroid ones, the whole raft. They were all normal except for this vitamin D one. So so yeah, they just need to check that I'm not, brittle bones and rickets and things like that. So I'm sure it'll be fine. But apparently I spend too much time in my graph room is what does it. I don't go outside enough. So the weather's not generally nice enough in the UK to craft outside very often. We get sunny days, obviously, but I generally find if it's sunny, it's windy. It just blows things away. So, yeah, there's the occasional day when you can craft outside here in the UK, but it's not very often. It certainly wouldn't be today. So, right then, so let's get stuck in then, because like I say, I'm a little short on time today, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to do today's card. I've prepped some of it in advance, and it's not a hard card, and there's my doorbell as well. Hang on a minute, I think it's an order, so we'll answer it. Morning, morning. There you go. Thank you. And your solo, Moody. There you go. That's lovely, thank you very much. Yeah, I was right, look. Big brown box with Stampin' Up tape on it. Oh, dear me, yay. That's the orders from my class last week. So, finally turned up. Those of you who might be watching who were at class, obviously I'm not here this afternoon to sort them out, but I'll deal with them over the weekend and have them ready for you. Either towards the end of the weekend or beginning of next week. So, lucky you, it's not for me. It's not for me. But that doesn't mean I don't have fun opening the box and just looking at it all. So, one of the main things I've been doing this week is getting my catalogues ready to go out. I've still got bags and bags and bags of catalogues ready for collection with the orders. And then also I'm getting my postage ones ready. And look, I've got these lovely, cute gold spotty bags to send my posted catalogues in. Don't they look cool? I'm so excited to post those now. Hopefully they'll cheer up the post office as well. So they're nice at my post office, actually, I'll be honest with you. They're lovely. So, but it'll be fun to go in with all these gold spotty bags, won't it? Right then, so where were we? Card today. So I have had a little. Right, okay, that's just annoying now. Nobody comes.
Morning.
Hello.
Sorry about you. I tried to do this password number 2 next door, but there is nobody. What's your name?
Moody. silly now. My apologies, my apologies. That was parcel for next door. They're never here. They're never in. And I end up, it's their daughter's birthday next week, the week after. And so they do all their shopping online to buy her birthday presents. But they're at work all the time. So basically, for the last 2 weeks, my doorbell has rung nearly every single day with parcels for them, for presents for their daughter. And I don't mind occasionally, but it's taking the mickey a little bit at the minute, to be honest with you. So, and then every time they apologise and say, I'm really, really sorry, and I ought to sort something else out, some sort of box, because you can, they have those Amazon drop-off slot things now where you can go and pick them up, don't they? Or have them delivered to your office at work or something. And they apologise profusely every time, and then still do it. And then order more stuff that I end up filling up my haul with. I've refused a couple occasionally when they're really big. I've gone, no, I'm sorry, I just don't have room to put that in my hallway. Not when my kids come home from school with their bags and their shoes and their PE kit and their homework. I haven't got room for all this stuff. My house isn't that big and it's filled with my own crap. So, right, yes, so I did manage to have a little bit of a play with my goodies one day this week. So last week, when did I do the unboxing? Was that this week? I can't even remember when my parcel came. It came Tuesday, that was it. The parcel came Tuesday with my pre-order because it came late and I thought it wasn't going to come. And it came about 1, something like that. And then we did an unboxing after lunch, didn't we? So Wednesday, I managed to clear all the decks and go, right, new stuff, playtime, yay. And I managed to get some cards made, of which today's card is one of them. And the card I showed on my blog yesterday was another one. And then when I shared the blog post across to Facebook, it showed the sketch of the sketch challenge. It didn't actually show my card. So let me show you my card. And I haven't flipped you around today because it disorientated me something rotten last week. It might be easier for you, but I was well confused. So I haven't flipped you, so the writing's going to be the wrong way around. So here's the card I shared on my blog yesterday. This is the one I've made for the Global Design Project Challenge. I end up getting those in the wrong way around. Okay, so it was a sketch challenge that had like a diagonal across the back and then a panel and a sentiment. So this is the new Wood Words stamp set. For the little cockerel and that, and this background is gorgeous. It's lovely. Right then, so this is Wood Words, and then this paper. Oh, this paper. Let me see if you can see. So this paper, it's called Wood Patterns. I think I've got that right. Wood Patterns? No, Wood Textures. Wood Textures. Okay. Right. It is so nice. Right, it is photographs of real wood and then printed onto paper. So it's not sketched or designs, it's actual physical photographs. So like in this bottom corner here, I don't know if you can see, there's actually like a nail or something in the wood. And then that's in the photograph. Okay, and I really like actually that little detail adds something to my card that I wouldn't have got. So, love that. Love that card actually. I'm really pleased how that one came out. I love this new Wood Textures paper. I only wish it was 12 by 12. I'll be honest. I'm kind of like, I love it. It's great. But just imagine what I could do if it had been 12 by 12. But it's not. It's 6 by 6. So which is a shame. But I'm still going to do fab stuff with it, obviously. So I've used it on today's card. I should have flipped you for this one. Actually, I think I can flip you while we're talking, except you just get to see my finger, aren't you? Lucky. And that button. There we go. Look, there's my craft from the other way around. Lovely. Okay, right. Now you'll see the words the right way around. So, but you see, for me, this is on this. And then I go, look, and put it off the screen. So there, it disorientates me. Right. Okay, so here's my card for today. This way. I'm going to flip you back in a minute. It's too confusing. Okay, but let me see if you can see. Which way do we need to go? This way. Can you see that the top, that is cut from the Wood Textures DSP? Okay. But what I've actually done, if I turn it I don't know how well you can see, I've stacked it. I've cut several and I've stacked it. Okay, and this one, and I don't think you're going to be able to see on here, but stacked it this way. I've done an assortment of browns to kind of look like wood, if that makes sense. We're going to make it, so you'll see. But the idea is that it kind of then looks like layers of wood. So I've taken espresso and crumb cake and things like that. So it looks like it's a slice of wood, rather than if you'd have turned it sideways and you'd have gone, oh, look, there's foam pads. You're going to struggle, if I'm completely honest, to fit foam pads under here. You're going to have to cut very tiny pieces. Even those new mini dimensionals, I think, are going to be too big. I've not seen them, but I'm guessing they're going to be too large. So you're talking about cutting really tiny slithers, which I have done in the past, or you cut several layers and you stack it and you put it on as a stack. And I think, whilst that's slight, I'm not sure that that's any more fiddly than cutting tiny slithers of dimensionals, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make today. It's not a hard card, and I've already prepped a load of it anyway. So let me go ahead. Hi, Irene. Hello. Oh, hi, Jen as well. Oh, everybody's hopping on now. Okay, foam sheet and die cut. What, like a whole sheet of like foam pad? Is it all like fun foam? Because that only comes in funny colours. What about the new sticker sheet? Now, the new sticker sheet is going to be perfect for this. Now, I don't have any. We had it a couple of years ago, and I don't know if I had some then, and then I don't know what I've done with it. I think I did. I've no idea where it is now. I don't have it at the minute. That's going to be lovely, but it's flat. Okay, so we're getting a new, it's the Sizzix adhesive sheets. So basically a whole sheet of like sticky stuff. And basically you stick your card to the sticky stuff, and then you die cut, and then when you take it off, you've got sticky stuff across the whole of the back. That's going to be perfect for sticking stacked layers together. Absolutely fabulous. Or if you want to stick it on flat. Okay, fun foam. Yeah, I mean, you could use that. I mean, it's a Thinlit die, so you'd want to get quite a thin one. And then I'm not sure I'd want to see all of that underneath. I suppose it depends what colours you can get. I'm not sure I'd want to see all that foam underneath personally, but what works for you, and that would work absolutely. But it's one of those dies, I think you need a bit of dimension to it. I'm not sure I'd want it stuck on completely flat, but again, it's going to depend on the card. It's going to depend on the card. If it was on another layer that you then popped up, that would be cool. So this is what I've done for this card, basically. So if I'd have had the adhesive sheet, that would have been perfect for this, because then I'd have put all of these with adhesive sheet, and then I could have stuck them together really easily. And as it is, we're going to just use slithers of Tombow. Well, she says it comes in all colours, including a brown. Okay, I shall investigate. Top tip, Anne, thank you very much. So we're just going to use Tombow, and we're going to stick them together. Ideally, actually, we'd use fine tip glue, but mine's dried out, or it's blocked. I don't know why. I'm very good about putting the little special little lid back in so that it doesn't block, but I don't use it very often either. So it has ended up blocked, and I can't get anything out. I've tried poking things down the hole and up the hole and everything, and I can't get it to go. So tiny dabs of Tombow for me. So it's already 10:15, even though I said this was going to be a quick one. So let's spin you round. So, then we have to do the horizontal flip back again, although you can't tell that. Then turn that one, flip it round. Ooh, did everything look a funny blue colour then? Anne's is blocked too. Yeah, I was really good about putting the label back in. The top back in, but it wasn't having none of it. So I have gone ahead and I have prepped a whole load of what we need, because I was conscious time wise. So here's my original card. So for the base, you need I've got Early Espresso. This is a top fold portrait card, so half a sheet of A4 cut lengthwise through the middle and then scored through the centre that way. I have a piece of Whisper White card. This is the same width as the base card, and about 5 inches deep, which is just around about 12.5 to 13 centimetres. And that'll layer on there when we're ready. And then I went ahead and I die cut a load of these happy birthdays. So here's the die. Okay, now this is huge, it's absolutely whopping. Okay, it's more than 8 centimetres that way, it's almost 8 centimetres that way. It's a really brilliant focal point die. You aren't going to need much else to go with it, if I'm completely honest. Okay, and I've gone ahead and I've die cut it. So I've die cut it from espresso. I've got one from crumb cake, one from soft suede, and then the last one I've cut from the wood textures paper. Now this one in my original card I cut from the same piece of paper I think that I die cut this from, by the looks of it. Maybe not sure. I think I did anyway. And so it's got this sort of pattern. I decided I'd die cut a different one this time, and I actually die cut it from the tree rings paper, and it's got a completely different look to it. If anything, right, I think it looks like tiger stripes. I think it looks more like tiger stripes than wood grain, if I'm honest, because we've taken that ring part out effectively. So it's going to look completely different with this. I'm not sure that I think I prefer the original actually. But this is probably my favourite pattern. Like all paper, you have a favourite pattern, and that includes the wood textures. This is probably my favourite one, and what will happen is I'll end up using all the favourite ones and have a whole load left of my less favourite ones. So I was trying to spread my love out across the paper. So I've gone ahead and I've done it. You can probably see it best if I put it onto the white. Yeah, it does look a bit like tiger stripes, doesn't it? So we're basically going to stick all these together. Now, as we just discussed, the adhesive sheet would be the best thing for that. And as soon as I'm able to get my hands on it, I will show it to you. But in the view that I don't have that, it's tiny dots of Tombow for me. So I'll try and not take too long over it. My general feeling is you want to get like where there's the curves. You want to get those. I've got one that's going to fountain on me as well. And then you're just going to stick the layers together. And by using the different colours, because like I say, when you cut a slice through wood, it's not one solid colour either, is it? So I wanted to get that feeling that it was cut from a piece of wood. I don't really know how much it looks like that, or whether it's just my imagination, but it's worth a try. So I say, if you do need to use glue, your fine tip glue, if you haven't dried it up like I have, it's going to be the best thing. But it depends how much control you have over Tombow, really. So I've got espresso and crumb cake. I'm going to pop the suede one on top of those. Now, when I originally was going to do this, I was actually going to put about 6 layers on. I was going to make it really, really chunky. And apart from the fact that sticking them together takes time, I actually decided that that would actually probably be going too far. 3 is good. 2 is not quite enough. 3 is good. And then when you've got the paper on, you've got a thin 4th layer. 4 would be cool. 6 would be cool. 6 would be cool if you did them rainbow stacked. So if you did the colours of the rainbow. On a different card, obviously, not on this one, but on a more bright and cheerful card. So if you had all the colours from the rainbow under there, that would be cool. We'll do that. Okay, and then finally, you can see I've got one that's decided it's going to be a Mount Vesuvius on me. It's just, now I've got glue going everywhere. So the spots I'm getting are a bit on the big side. Right. You get the idea. So finally I'm going to stick the paper on top. I was just wondering what it looked like on the other side. That one would have been cool. Obviously it's no good now, it's backwards. But actually it would have been really cool. The reverse of that paper is the ends of the wood, like wood logs. And actually it looks quite cool like that. So it's no good now, it's backwards. But okay. I've ended up with some quite big splodges of glue. Right, let's leave that to dry for a minute. So for my sentiment, I've added the 2U. You don't have to, it doesn't actually have to have it, but I did. I've used the stamp set Happy Celebrations. You're just looking for a 2U, and this is where I found one. It's actually on a stamp that says birthday to you. Now, if you don't mind chopping up your stamp sets, and I don't in general, sometimes it's for the best, you could just cut the 2U off. Okay, the gap between them, however, is quite a good size. That actually, you can just ink up the 2U on its own, or you could get a bit of post-it note and cover the birthday and then add ink. Okay, so let's bring the white in. Let's work out where I'm going to want to put my very sticky happy birthday, and I've put it at a bit of a jaunty angle. And I'm going to go ahead and just ink up the 2U. I've managed to get it without getting the birthday, because like I say, they're far enough apart. And I'm going to go ahead and decide where on the card I want to put it, and then stamp it down. Oh, I've ended up with a bit of movement. I've got a tiny shadow, and I also didn't get my card straight in the first place, so it's actually very slightly wonky as well. Never mind. Right, that's on there. So then more Vesuvius glue. Let's try a different one. This one feels like it's absolutely dead as a doornail, actually. Ooh. All right, get rid of that. And then there's definitely, this one's going to do it as well. Oh, all my glue hates me. Right, let's have a rummage. What about that one down there? I've got loads and loads of tail ends of Tombow. This one's a bit dried up. And this one started coming out of its own accord as well. It's probably because there's not much left in there, so there's loads of air in the bottom of the bottle. It's not as bad as one of the other one though we had, so let's go for it. Right then. Shouldn't have done that on top of the card though, should I? That was daft. Right then. Right then, I'm really sticky now. I've got Tombow all over my hands. Right then, and then when you're happy with that, finally I've added a bit of burlap ribbon in the top corner. Cut it like that maybe. There we go. And then I've just stapled it on. I've still got my Stampin' Up stapler. It's a bit big. Let's trim it off somewhere. But you can use whatever stapler you have got knocking about in your stationery drawer. But I figure I might as well use up the staples while I've still got some. I've stuck 2 in to make sure it's not going anywhere. And then all that's left to do is to whack some dimensionals on the back. Because for this card, that wood paper does all the work for you. Okay, that's the beauty of a decent patterned paper, is it takes all the work out. And that means that this card looks fab with very little effort. So, and then I've left a slight gap at the top. and a slightly larger gap at the bottom. And there we go. I'm going to trim up my bear wrap a little bit. There we go. Okay, if I'm going to be honest, I prefer the original one. Okay, this pattern didn't quite work out as well as I would have hoped, but it does have, like I say, a bit of a tiger look about it. So if you've got somebody who's a big tiger fan, it would work. So I think I prefer that wood grain in that one. And then yes, the idea is that it just then looks like a very thin slice of wood that's been cut out and adhered to the card. I mean, obviously you can cut very thin wood in your Big Shot, can't you? You can cut balsa wood in your Big Shot if you're very careful. I've never actually tried, and I don't know whether it works with these thin dies or whether it only works with the old big dies that did the big ones. I'm not sure I'd risk trying it personally. Oh, thank you very much, ladies. Thank you. Anne says it's fabulous and Carly loves it. Thank you very much. You're very kind. I've got glue on that one as well. Oh, I'm just making a right mess today. So there you go. There are my cards. There's my card for today. Let me spin you back round. Oh, apparently I've got a low battery on my phone as well. Back round. We're a bit squiffy, but that's okay. Oh, we're very squiffy, aren't we? Shall I, if I tilt this way? Oh dear, I'll see if I can straighten you up a bit. There we go. Right then, so there we are. There's my card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I couldn't do a full class today. But I know you understand, and I'll do more. I've actually had loads of videos this week. So on Monday, I had a video on YouTube and on my blog for this card using cool treats and the inlaid die cutting technique. And then I did another card where I showed you a top tip on using, oh, it was this one. So this one, which is how to use your big background stamps. I struggle, my hands aren't big enough to hold that big block and stamp with it. So I've done it where you lay it down and you use your case as the block. You use the clear mount case as the block. And you just put card or ink and card and then use your brayer, or you can use the back of a clear block or something like that just to rub over to stamp it. And it's great if you're then going to die cut or punch like I have for this card. So there was this card. It was a man card week, not so much the ice creams. But I've had this one, this one. I don't know whether you can classify this as a man card with the flowers in the background. Not so much. But definitely been on a man card kick, haven't I? So, so several videos went on the blog and on the YouTube this week, and then I'll get this one loaded up as well. So don't forget to order if you're a customer without a Stampin' Up demonstrator, don't forget to request your new catalogue. I still have some spare ones. If you fancy one of my funky gold postage bags, then I'm happy to put a catalogue, and with the bag, obviously. The bag's a perk, in the post for you. Otherwise, keep following the blog and keep following the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. Make sure you've done that. Make sure you've liked the Facebook page as well, so you don't miss stuff. Because sometimes I put stuff here that I don't put there, and stuff on YouTube that doesn't come onto Facebook. So you need to follow all those places, otherwise you're going to miss stuff. If you fancy a PDF tutorial that you can print out and save to go with today's card, I always add one to my newsletter on a Friday evening for my newsletter subscribers. It's a little perk and exclusive for them. So don't forget to sign up for that if you'd like to start receiving those. My newsletter goes out about 5 o'clock, so you've got about 6 hours to sign up to get it. Everyone's welcome. I don't mind if you're a demonstrator or not. You're welcome to sign up to the newsletter. What else? I shall keep crafting away. I spent a little time yesterday afternoon working on a big project for my new upcoming online class, which I'm going to start offering kits for if you live in the UK, but you can buy the classes if you don't, the same way that my online classes have always worked wherever you live. I did the first big project for that yesterday, and it came out fabulous, and I love it. I'm really, really pleased with it. I've just got to design all the other projects now, but that was the big one, and it's lovely. So, and I kind of want to share it, and I can't share it yet. It's too early yet, so you're going to have to wait. But it's so nice. So, right, thank you ever so much for watching and sticking with me. Oh, I'm still low battery again. I will be back next Friday at 10 o'clock for the live, and I'll obviously pop in all through the week as well. So I hope you'll join me. Bye.